Alright, so in this tutorial, right, I'm again using the letter O, and this is about specifically only about how to properly parent your controllers to one another. Basically meaning how to make a chain, right? Chain ladder for your animation controllers. Again, how to make a chain ladder, a chain link, not for your skeleton, but for your animation controllers, right? Because it's easy to get confused between the two since we're using similar vocabulary words. Anyway, I'm gonna hide the mesh and I'm gonna hide the bones, but I'll show the bones. I am gonna make sure I set it to reference though. And the mesh is hidden, controllers are showing. For my last video tutorial, I talked about how to double check your controllers, right? So we're good with that. But as you can see here, each one of these controllers, right, they're individual. But what needs to be done is that they're interconnected to one another as its own chain system. Alright, and for example, the spine, right? I named it spine, double-sided control. This is 8. This is spine double-sided control 0, 1. And basically, for example, this has to be a child, this has to be a child to this. 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 And down and down and down. And there's reasons why we have to do that in order for the break to properly function. So let me first show how to interconnect them and what will result from doing that. I'm going to select the topmost, right? So basically the chain of command is going to go down in this specific scenario regarding, for example, the spine, right? The spine controller, which you can see here I named it. Anyway, so I select that. Then I shift select the one below it. Right? Again, the selection order is you select the one above, you select that first, then you shift select the one below it. Again, this is regarding the controllers. You see here, I selected it. Right. So again, select the top one, shift select the bottom one. You press P as in Peter. But you notice that the controller, the handle, right? Not the controller handle, but the gizmo, my move tool is on top instead of being down here where it should be. This is just a visual glitch, right? Because the handle should be down here, but if you look here, if I click here, it is where it is. So don't let that throw you off. Right? So if I crack this open, you'll notice that controller 7, underneath that is controller 8. So here's my first ladder, chain ladder for my spine controller. I'm going to leave this open so you can just see it. Now this, I'm going to hide my bones. There you go. This, right, this set has to be controlled by this controller. So with this set selected like that, I shift select the one right below it, which is controller 6, spine, press P as in Peter, and you'll notice that this handle will scoot up to here. And like I said before, it's just a visual glitch. I'm going to press P as in Peter. See, it went up. But if I were to select the topmost level within the channel box, it is where it's supposed to be. I'll do one more. I select this as a complete set group, right? Then I shift select the one below it. As you can see here, I press P as in Peter, and see it scoots up. Like I said, ignore this. It's just a visual hiccup, glitch. I'm going to select the topmost stack in here. See the plus sign? It goes back down where it should be. Then I shift select the bottom one. Again, you press P as in Peter. It kind of looks like it's scooting up. I select the topmost, not the topmost, but the group of it. Not the group, but the chain ladder. You can see the plus sign. I'm going to crack this open, holding shift and left click. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. Now, if I were to select from the outliner, select the bottom one first, and then shift select this, you see moving down. Shift select that, you see the thing moving down. Shift select that, you see it moving down. If I shift select that, you see it moving down. Now if I press E as in Edward, just like with testing the animation, testing the skeleton joints, if I rotate it, right, I'm gonna do Control 1. So for isolated view, hotkey, see? This is why the controllers need to be parented to each other, because it makes its own little chain link like that. And then I just type in 0. I'm gonna press Control 1 to get out of isolated view. Right? I'm just gonna close that stack. Now I'm gonna, from here, right, here's my front. I'm gonna shift select this down there, press P as in Peter, and watch what happens. Now, controller 3 spine, it has this stack all together. Then I'm gonna shift select the one below it, which is this, and which is this, press P as in Peter. Watch what happens. There. Then I'm gonna shift select the one below that, which is this, press P as in Peter. See what happens. So now I have the complete stack. I'm gonna do Control 1 to hide everything else unselected, that it was unselected. I'm gonna select this, press shift, hold shift, and left click on this little box. Here's my stack. Here's this one. Holding shift, select that 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 one. Hold shift, select that. Hold shift, select that. Press E as in Edward, and you can see it bending nice and smooth like a accordion. Neato. So that's how you properly set up the chain ladder for your controllers. Control 1 to get out of isolated view, right? Now, this doesn't mean that you have to do a chain ladder for everything. I repeat, this is important. You don't go ahead and start linking up all of these guys to one another. You may say to yourself, what do you mean by that? You know, because you just did it for these, right? So what the hell am I talking about? Well, if you look at the bones, right, you will notice that this and this, right, controllers, which correspond to the ball joint, right, but you notice that this joint and this joint, they're not connected. None of these are connected. They're separate. They're separate entities. Whereas if you look at these controllers, right, I'm gonna hide these for a second, pressing H. You will notice that these controllers, or that these joints here, 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 and here, they are interconnected joints, so they will need to be able to do things like this, because these controllers, you know, they correspond to their respective ball joint, which their respective ball joints are connected to one another. Whereas these ball joints, they are not interconnected to one another. They are separate entities from one another. Only thing is that these ball joints, right, at the end, they are connected to the base of the ball joint, of this ball joint. That's the reason why these controllers, you do not do things like this where you parent it. See? You do not do this, right? Because if you do this, right, it makes no sense, because these are not, these ball joints, like I said, are not interconnected. So please be aware of that, right? Don't go on autopilot and start connecting all of these, because it's not supposed to. With that being said, you do grab, say for example, this one, this controller, right? And then it has to be parented to this, because this, right, correlates to this ball joint. This controller correlates to this ball joint. That's why this controller, right, needs to correspond and link up to this controller. So I select this R single-sided controller 8, right? That's the child. It's going to be following this parent. So I select this, the child, shift select this, you know, spine controller, right? You can see it here. See what's going to happen. I'm going to press P as in Peter. Look, it disappeared. But if I hold shift and crack that open, you will now notice spine double-sided controller 8, which is this one. And look, it's following, this child is following this. Right, underneath it, splits off into this. So now this right single-sided controller 8 is now being a child of spine double-sided controller 8. So bop bop bop. Okay, same thing. Grab this, shift select that, right? This guy right here. Again, this, shift select that, press P as in parent. Watch what happens. See? This ladders down to this. Now, see what happens? Now it's like this, shift select this, the corresponding parent controller, right? That's going to be the parent of this. Press P. See what happens. This goes down the ladder to this. Select this, shifts like that, press P. See if I shift it again. Like I said, don't worry about when it shifts, because when I select it here, right, this is this. If you go up the ladder for it, it connects to this. This connects to this. Right, so it's like that, shifts like that, press P. It's like this, shifts like that, press P. And you see how it shifted. Like I said, don't worry, because when I select this, everything gets selected. It's like that, shifts like that, press. If you look here, P. And press P. And you can see this right single-sided controller 2. If you follow the connection up into this. See? Now I select this, shifts like that, press P. Now this, when you go down the stack to here, when I select this, base, you see that happening. Right. Same thing, you grab this side. That's why it's always good to name them. Right. If you're lazy and don't name things, and chances are, if and when, and high probability, if and when that happens, of something breaking, if your things are not named properly, you will be in a world of hurt because of so much things happening if you don't name them properly. Select that, shifts like that. Again, select this, shifts like this, right there, press P, look what's gonna happen. See outside here, but we press P. Now it's inside. This and this. See how their line goes up to here. Oh, I forgot about this. Now this needs to be a child of this. Press P. There you go. This, which is this, and this, which is that, is a child of this. Okay. Now this needs to be a child of this. Press P. This needs to be a child of this. Press P. If you think of it as a rib cage, see this rib cage? But it's for the controllers. This is a child of this. Press P. You see how it's all connecting. This is a child of this. Right, this is a child of this. Press P. This is a child of this. Press P. This is a child of this. Press P. As you can see, everything is now in a systematically organized, interconnected chain link specifically for the animation controllers. Now, this spine double-sided controller 1 needs to be a child of my COG controller. This guy right here. Shift select this. Press P. As you can see, it's shifted back up, which is fine. If I select this, there you go. If I were to select this, right? If I were to select this, the COG, we're still good. everything's interconnected. Or just like this, and this, 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 and this, and this. Press rotate. See, this is why it's important, or it's necessary for the controllers, animation controllers, to be interconnected to one another. And then this. So let's say I still have all that selected, top down, and then I select this, the COG, further up the chain, and I still can do this. See, it's super neat. I'm just rotating around. Alright. But then you might ask yourself, what about the global controller? Right? Isn't the global controller also important? Shouldn't all of these guys now connect to the global controller? Wouldn't that make sense? Because it is a controller. And I would not do that right now, or at least in this scenario, because I already have set something up, right? As you can see in my letter R complete rig, where the global controller, everything's working fine, even scaling, or not scaling. Well, if I scale, one second. Oh, right. Maybe this is the old. Forget that previous one. Let me, oh god, this again. 1 second. Got this, and this, and then zero here, there, back to normal. So you're here, letter R, right? And you notice how here's my global controller, but you notice that there's nothing inside of it, no other controllers. That's because it is separate from the center of gravity controller system. And there are reasons why for this, and I'm not going to talk about it because it's just going to be a word salad, right? But as you can see, they're not, this set is not connected to this set. It is connected in a different way. But as you can see, the global controller, it is working, it's doing its thing. It will scale properly, right? Fully functional. But the whole point is that no, you do not throw the COG set control, the animation controllers into here. You do not do that. You do not do that. And here's the example why. So in this global controller, short answer is no, you don't. But I had to at least show why. I mean, I showed the example that you don't do that. Alright, so that's pretty much the end of that. How to set up the chain ladder system for your controllers. Always remember, everything should be zeroed out. Frozen transformations, right? And do not throw the COG animation controllers into the global controller. Do not. Just to remind again. Do not do anything where you're shoving any of these controllers into the joints either. They're separate entities. I repeat, this global controller is a separate entity from the COG controller, and the COG controller chain link ladder system is different, and and individual from the root, joint, chain, system. They're all separate. This and this are separate systems. This is also separate. And that's it. Alright, bye.